With me is technology journalist Kate Bevan. Bring us the headlines on this, Kate.
Well, so there aren't that many headlines because they previewed it all back in September. But anyway, so what we now know today is that it's going to start at $349 and the sky's the limit from there because the top-end ones, the bling ones, are going to be from $10,000.
Because there are gold versions,
there are
aren't
gold
they?
versions.
I'm guessing, though, that they will still run the same software as the cheap versions, won't they?
No, these are going to run a version of iOS. Other smartwatches around tend to run Android. And Samsung have one running Tizen. So this is going to run a version of iOS, which means it's going to be firmly within the Apple ecosystem. I mean, it's going to be tethered to your iPhone, so you're going to have to use it with your phone. Although apparently you can make calls from the watch itself, which is very Dick Tracy-like.
You mentioned that they sort of showed this off a few months ago, and now they're showing us a bit more, and it doesn't go on sale for another, I don't know, 5 or 6 weeks or so. This is a break with how Apple used to do things. They used to go, ta-da, here it is, and you can buy it tomorrow.
Yeah, and they also used to be incredibly secretive about it.
Yeah.
There used to be very few leaks beforehand. You sometimes get leaks out of the supply chain, but mostly it was a surprise when Steve Jobs got up there and announced something, and there was a real sense of excitement about this, about the products. I mean, remember the iPad launch? It was really exciting. This has got no excitement around it, I don't think.
We've had a few messages about this. Neville Applin says he thinks it's a rip-off. Chris Stacey on Facebook says, I want one. Phil Sembers, though, asks pertinently, no smartwatches are worth buying at the moment. They're all Generation 1, including Apple's offering. Is that a fair point? It's very early days for this kind of thing.
That's a very fair point, and particularly with Apple, the early iterations of something are... You generally skip the first iterations of version 1 and see what happens further down the track when things have been refined, when bugs have been ironed out.
And also, as we've seen with the iPhone, other makers, Samsung and HTC and Huawei, the Chinese company, they're ahead in terms of technology, aren't they?
I think they are. The Apple Watch is late to the party, I think, and I don't think it's got anything particularly to make it stand out except the Apple brand name.
And is it going to really bother your everyday horologist, someone who collects timepieces?
I think somebody who's really into collecting timepieces might well want one of these, although they've got quite a lot to choose from. But I think real horologists, well, this is actually the quite interesting thing about it, because it's pitching into a completely different market. It's always been technology geeks, people who are going to use technology. And this is pitching very much into a fashion market, into a luxury brand market. So that's the interesting thing about this.